Hello.
No. 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 You're not. You're not here.
But we share a connection.
No, you are a figment of my imagination.
I know so much about you.
Oh my god. Oh my god, you really are here. Oh Jesus. Oh god, you give me the friggin' willies. Oh god. Welcome everybody to a brand new movie review where we talk about Unsane. I think I'm going insane. Oh god. So, you know what, to get into this movie, I want to say how much I really loved the trailers.
Oh, yeah.
And the trailers were so fascinating. And I was like, you know what? I gotta check this movie out. Because it was just, I needed to. I loved the trailer so much. Where do you want to start with Unsane?
I'm going to let Seth do most of the talking, but I have to say, this is a very unique, intriguing, definitely under the genre of not horror. Most people think it's horror. I mean, there's a little...
You could say it.
It's I think it's more of a psychological thriller.
Okay, sure.
This is a movie that I will say you need to pay attention. Don't go outside for a cigarette. Don't go to the bathroom. Don't talk during the movie. You really have to pay attention to this movie.
You know what? The thing about this movie is that you have this woman named Sawyer, and she has moved to a different state. She's changed her job, she's gotten new friends, new everything, and a new life. And the reason why is because basically a person has been stalking her for 2 years, and she needed to get away. And basically, she still believes that this person is still stalking her, and that it's in the trailer, so we're not giving it away, is the fact that she gets admitted to a mental health facility. And basically from there, she sees him at the mental health facility. Is it real? Is she going insane? Is she losing her mind? Then that's where the movie is. And I mean, I gotta say right off the bat, man, I think the acting here is amazing. Claire Foy plays Sawyer. She did a fantastic job in this. Somebody who has to play frightened, scared, losing her mind, confident, terrifying, every emotion you can think of. She is like right on the money. She does an amazing job. The other actor who plays the stalker, Joshua Leonard, he's amazing. I haven't seen him in anything else.
I thought he was brilliant.
I thought, man, he was fantastic. He did an amazing job. Creepy, extremely effective. Yeah, he was great. Also, Juno Temple is in this as well. She played Violet.
She did a marvelous job.
Yes.
Marvelous. But I think what's not giving credit, you're not giving credit to, is the black guy through in the movie.
Yes, I forget the black guy's name now. The actor, he did an amazing job. You know, very natural.
Very natural.
Very natural. Just somebody who's, you know, just easygoing, natural acting. Boy, he was great.
Yeah, and he's the one who, I think this story, one thing I will say,
yeah,
if you're thinking it's just about the girl, it isn't. It's also about, I think, and me being a nurse, I know this too true, and I will say this, the medical industry is a money-making. It's a business. It's out there to make money. I've been in a hospital before. I remember I went to get a jaw surgery, and I didn't even have my own bedroom. I was in a hallway, and they tried to charge my father $22,000. And he settled out of court. But he still had to pay $8,000. And I think what this movie shows is they try to get as many patients in this hospital as they can to make a profit. There's a lot of wrongdoings going on. and they release them. Even if they do seriously have problems, they release them saying, oh, you're cured after your insurance runs out. But we're going to keep you here as long as you have insurance. And I hate to say the medical industry works like that way, but it does. Even in nursing homes where I worked, they will keep you as long as you have insurance. And me working in nursing homes, I saw a lot of patient abuse. And me being in hospitals, I saw a lot of abuse. And I think this showed they don't have sophisticated background checks like they say they do. You would think in the medical profession, unlike any other profession besides maybe lawyer, you'd have to have a sophisticated background check. Now, yeah, what it shows in the movie is basically how you get away with the background check. But I came up with the word. The black guy in the movie, he was a whistleblower.
Yes, I mean, I will say this. We are going to do some spoilers, so just so you guys know.
What he was doing, he had no real problem. He went in there for a problem, but what he was trying to do was whistleblow this hospital and the whole agency, because they own a whole bunch of hospitals. What he wanted to do was whistleblow saying, this has problems. And he proved it does. And then you have the stalking aspect, which really is what brought down the hospital.
Well, the idea that the story's not just about Sawyer and her stalker. It is about the idea of the hospital and the idea that it's a money-making scheme, and the idea of that basically you're just trapped in there with no help.
And they did everything to trap her.
Yes.
I mean, they even gave her the wrong drug. Remember, they made her a drug that made her hallucinate and thought she was crazy. There's a point in the movie where she knows she's sane, and the whistleblower, the black guy, knows she's sane, and she goes, I feel insane. And goes, you're not. You're in column 2. You're sane. There's nothing. He knew there was nothing wrong with her. He knew she had no mental problems. And he's the only one who believed her.
Yeah, he was the only one. And the idea that basically, look, you know, when she is at the mental facility and she sees her stalker and realizes that, oh my God, this is not a figment of my imagination. He's really here. And she's trying to tell these people, and nobody is listening to her. Nobody's even trying, because they're like, oh, well, we did a thorough background check on this guy and everything like that. Really? Apparently your background checks suck, because, I mean, you just completely screwed that up.
And they wouldn't let her call the cops. They took away her phone privileges. My question is, what happens, I wonder this in real life too, but this movie showed, what happens if you do go in the hospital? Say me, I get in a relationship and my ex winds up, I go to a mental hospital and my ex winds up being the head psychiatric nurse. He's the director of psychiatric nursing at Community General. And I can't stand him. He put me through hell and he was toxic. I don't care if he's a nurse. You think I want to be in the hospital?
No,
and if you take away my phone privileges, I have no way to call somebody and say, this is my ex. He treated me like shit. I need to get out of here. You're stuck. You're trapped.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what to do. And what I even thought was very brilliant but scary at the same time is that when she's talking to that psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist brings up the idea of, oh, you thought about suicidal intentions a little bit or something, or just
called entrapment.
An entrapment, and the idea that they have her sign a piece of paper, and from the piece of paper they have you sit down to wait. From waiting, you go into a room, you strip off your clothes,
and they lock the door.
And it's like, oh my God, it's like these people.
But that does happen.
Oh my God, but it was just craziness.
I've been to a mental hospital, I will admit it, and I went there for psychiatric reasons, and they do these things. But I now learned my lesson. I'm on medication, thank God. But if you go to a psychiatric hospital, you learn, and I tell this to anybody, I told this to friends who said, I'm having mental problems. You do not say you are suicidal. You do not say you're homicidal, because one day will turn into 3 days, could turn into 3 weeks. You could be there an entire month. And if you don't have a family and friends, you could be trapped there. They could send you to Hutchings. They could send you to the state. And that's what this hospital showed. And then when you have the situation of the stalker on top of that, nobody believed her.
Oh.
It goes to the point, she is really, if
she was screwed.
If she was brilliant at the end of the movie, and I'm not going to spoil it, what she did was brilliant, because if she didn't do a certain move she had to do, nobody knew she was there.
Absolutely. Look, you know what? We're not going to spoil everything, especially the ending. We're not going to do that. But the idea that she had to play certain mind games in order
Survive.
to survive. And the idea that, I hate to say it, but along with the mental facility thing, the stalker thing is scary. And the fact that, look, not going to lie, stalker shit's real, man. And,
it is.
And the idea that with this dude, I hate to say, like, some people would think this is far-fetched. Let me tell you something. This is not far-fetched,
I had a
man.
stalker in college that would text me, call me like crazy, text me, call me. I blocked his number. Then he would see me on campus, and he was from another college. He didn't even go to the college I went to. He went to a college 3 miles away.
Man.
In the same town, and would follow me. And finally, thank God I had my big friend, I had a lesbian, her name was Tara, she's about 300 pounds. She took him by the neck, says, leave him the fuck alone before I break your neck. And he left me alone. He got the hint.
Yeah.
But some people don't. I mean, they follow you. They go,
Oh my
they
God.
follow you around campus. They call, they text.
Man.
You know, I had people on Facebook stalking me, and I'm like, delete, block.
Let me tell you something. This is incredibly real. And it's
There is only there is one really far-fetched thing.
What?
How did he know she was going to be entrapped at that hospital, go to that exact hospital, get entrapped? How did he entrench himself in that hospital staff and even know she was going to go to the hospital and be a patient? That's one thing I can't figure out.
Okay, very true. However, my explanation to that, I don't know whether it's a good explanation, but sure, I'll give it, is the idea that, like I said, he's watching her all the time. In fact, there's POV shots in the
So
movie.
you think he's filming her, so he knew she was going there.
He's basically watching her at every moment, and so he knew. And it just was like, again, just creepiness in the idea of, like, again, having to be strapped to a bed while your stalker is like right
They
around
rarely
the corner.
do that anymore, but I know a person who did get strapped to a bed. It was the worst experience of life, and the shot they were giving her is heparin. And no matter how strong and resilient of a person, you could be the type of person that sleeps 2 hours a night, not sleep for 4 days. As soon as you get a shot of heparin, you're out cold for 20 hours. And what was scary about that, which is untrue, when they strap you to a bed and they get you shot, you're not with any other patients. You're in a solitary room.
Okay.
So when they were surrounded by patients,
That would have never happened.
that wouldn't, because they can abuse her, they can touch her, they can slap her, that would have never happened. That's another fault of the hospital. She would never been with other patients.
Okay. And again, I don't know whether that was meant to be an unrealistic part of the movie, or whether that was just like
And another unrealistic thing, some hospitals do that. The idea of the basement room.
yes.
You don't have that in hospitals. You can't get away with it. A secret room that, you're in, you can't, because there's not enough security and solitude, and it can be, that I don't think happens, but you never know.
You never know, honestly. You never know what goes on in these places, and the idea that, again, there's moments in this movie where, like, she's trapped, or nobody believes her, or the fact that the mother comes in to try to get her out of
And the
this.
police wouldn't even help.
The police won't even help, and
Her own lawyer hung up on her.
yeah, so it's like you think to yourself, "Oh my God, this!" Like, I'm watching the movie, right, and I'm feeling trapped, just like she is.
Well, I hate to tell you, that's how much power the medical industry has. The medical industry, to give you a record, is the 6th biggest grossing business in the world, not the country, in the world. That's why our whole economy, drugs, FDA, mental hospitals, regular hospitals, is tied to health insurance, because health insurance industry, HMOs, is the 6th biggest grossing part of our economy. It's 1/6 of our economy, and our economy is probably I think $3 trillion a year. So you're talking $500 billion.
Man, it's a
big business,
it's a business.
And not get away. And then when you have the stalking on top of that, and you do have stalking, a lot of these patients, they put them on pills. You're crazy. There's no stalker. They think he's crazy. And meanwhile, what happens if you're telling the truth?
Exactly.
And the problem, what you have at these hospitals too, you do have people that rape the patients and abuse the patients and beat them, and they don't believe the patient. When a patient says, he touched me or he groped me, oh, she's just going insane, or he's just going insane. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And that's the problem. There's too much abuse. And there was abuse in the system. Even the administrator, when the whistleblower, the other people took his booklet.
Yes.
The other, the staff, and the staff did the right thing. They gave it to her. What did she do? Hide it in her desk. That's why she got arrested.
Yes.
She hid it in her desk like,
Yep.
I'm hiding it, I'm covering
no,
up.
No way. No, we're not going to do anything with this. And it's just like, I think it's just an incredible movie about just like, you know, the idea of opening people's eyes about mental health facilities, or the idea that, you know, the stalking can get as extreme as it can.
Human perseverance, I think.
Absolutely. And I will say this much. This movie is directed by Steven Soderbergh. And Steven Soderbergh is an amazing filmmaker. I loved his movies, whether it was the Ocean's trilogy that he did.
Oh, he did Oceans 11, 12, 13?
Yep, he did those.
I like two of them. I didn't like the third
He did
one.
those. Last year, my friend Ron and I did a review for Logan Lucky, which was last year, which is a heist movie. He did a great job with that. He's a filmmaker that doesn't mind going out of his comfort zone, which is something I really like.
I think what this is this movie is very original. I don't know who the screenwriter was. I don't know if this was based on a book, but I have to say, and I've been doing these movie reviews for about a year now?
Almost a year.
Almost a year. I have to say, out of all the movies we said, and we've sung comedies, dramas, thrillers, horrors, everything, I have to say this movie was probably the most intriguing and unique. It touched me because I did work in the medical field, so I understood a little bit. The stalking touched me because I was stalked before, I said. And I think it was a good mixture of the stalking and the medical field.
The medical field, yes.
I think it was a little, you know, the stories were kind of getting a little far-fetched in certain areas, and I think it was going one direction. That's why you had to pay attention. And it left you on your touch of your seat, like, what's going to happen next?
What's going to happen next? What are they going to do? I will say this much. And this is going to blow your mind right now.
What?
That this movie, the entire movie, was filmed on an iPhone.
Was it really?
Yes. This entire film was filmed.
Damn, that's a goddamn good iPhone.
Yes, exactly. All you iPhone lovers out there, you're
amazing.
You're vindicated. So
that is amazing.
Yes, this whole entire film. So every shot, iPhone.
That's amazing.
Yes. And again, I appreciate that. And again, this is why I love Steven Soderbergh so much, is because, again, he doesn't mind playing in any genre, playing any field, doing different technology stuff. He'll go for it. And
what
I love
like that it was horror and psychological. Because I mean,
Yes.
you did have violence.
Yes, you did.
You did have violence.
Oh yeah.
Not epic like horror movie violence, but I think it was a good mixture. You had a good mixture of violence. You got a good psychological thriller.
Yeah.
And it really showed what they tried to show, which I think was really cool. They tried to make her the insane one, which was cool.
Yeah, I like
and they
that,
tried to make the stalker the same one, like, oh, nothing's wrong. I'm an excellent staff. I never, you know. And what they did is, in the beginning of the movie, they showed her insane, showed him insane, and then the roles flipped.
Yes.
They had a flip
like
reversal.
That. Yes. I love that a lot. Again, I think the movie's really brilliant. I really liked it a lot. I mean, is there anything that you would give points off for the film?
Well, I'll do that in my rating.
In your rating. Okay, well, let me ask you, what's your final thoughts and grade rating on Unsane?
The acting, phenomenal.
Okay.
The story I thought was good, but because I worked in the medical field, because I think it was far-fetched in certain areas, and that's why I would take points off.
Yeah.
I thought because it was filmed on iPhone, he said made it even a greater movie. I thought the hospital, the type of hospital they showed, what I didn't like is no hospital, especially a mental hospital, is that big, because it leaves too many ways to escape. It's not that big. It's like a prison. That's an old-time hospital, so I will take points off for that.
Yeah.
I'd have to say my grade rating, definitely see this movie, but I'd have to give it a B. Solid B.
A solid B? That's a solid rating. I can't fault you. Look, I will say this. You have to pay attention to this movie. There's no doubt about it. You know, chomping on popcorn or something like that for a movie like this is not gonna do. But I will say this much, though. As you said, the acting is phenomenal. The story with the stalking and the mental health facility stuff is really eye-opening, and just, it's really well done. I think this is a movie that I don't know whether this is going to be a movie that people are really going to see, or is it going to be the one that people are going to find years down the line. But it's something that, yeah, go and see it, really. Honestly, it's well worth the money to see it. Like I said, it's got a lot of different elements, and the iPhone thing is, when you watch the movie, it's like, wow, this was filmed on that. Everything really works for this film, mostly pretty well, except for some of the inaccuracies. I would give it a solid B+.
Oh, higher than me. That's
Higher than me.
I will say, if this movie doesn't hit at the movies, it will be a cult classic.
I believe it will,
I think
yes.
anybody who's ever been in a psych ward, anybody who's ever been stalked, which a lot of people have, anybody that's been in a psych ward, this is definitely going to be a cult classic.
Oh, it's going to be one of those movies where I think people are they're gonna look and say, like, oh yeah, Unsane. It's a great fucking movie. Like, this is one of those movies that is really, really well done. And it's different than a lot of stuff that's playing right now. So, it's definitely worth the money.
It's a shame it's playing now and not later in the year, because it really does deserve, I would say, some of the acting, even the screenwriting deserves an Oscar nom. I really say this type of movie.
Really
but
great,
because it's so soon in the year, I don't know if it's going to get recognized during Oscar season. It should.
Do you see somebody?
No.
You don't see anybody?
No, don't scare the shit out of me. All right.
Okay, everybody. I hope you liked the review. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. And we will be back next time for another movie review. Oh.
I guess I'm not a figment of your imagination.
No. Damn it. But, the good thing is that at least I'm not insane.
No, you're not insane.
No.
You just got a new stalker.
Oh, boy. See you next time, guys.